All right, Tammy, are we live? Can you just give me a
We're good to go.
Yeah. Okay. Give everybody just a second to get settled in. I think you were probably still in your those speed dating rounds or those tables that you might have been at. Can catch your breath for a second here. I see that we have. I'm just going to check real quickly here. Final numbers. All right, we still have about 140 people left here in the day. I hope everybody had a really great day. If you were here this morning for the opening of this conference, I started by letting everyone know that we have more than 1,300 people registered for the event today and tomorrow in 81 countries. If you were here in the morning, I listed out every single country that people are from. I'm not going to do that again, but it's really been really exciting to be amongst so many people from all over the world. And obviously with the differences in time zones, not all of you have been here the whole day, but I have heard that some of you have been here the whole day. And consistently, we've had between 200 and 400 people really at each of the sessions. I think with the exception of my own presentation, which apparently had a bit of an internet connectivity issue here and there, technically speaking, the day went quite well. And so we're really thrilled about that, especially since this was our first time to host an online conference and we weren't sure what would go right and what would go wrong. But technically speaking, things went quite well, I think. So we're really happy about that. But more importantly, we're really delighted right now to have had so much, to have had so many really great presentations throughout the day. And we're thrilled with the amount of engagement there was from all of you. I absolutely love working in this field, particularly because of the people in this field. And to take part in a conference, or even better, to host a conference means so much to me and all of the people at ESL Library. To have had so many of you from all over the world, from so many different places, join us, connect with us, engage with us, and participate with us in conversation throughout the day. And I hope that all of you found some value in attending, and I hope that all of you were able to contribute and to network and to meet other people. I sat down earlier throughout the day at one of those virtual tables. I hope everybody had a chance to sit at one of those. And the table I sat at the time only had one other person in the table or at the table. But it turns out I had met this person before at the TESOL conference in Seattle in 2017. She remembered me right off the bat, and I remembered her. It took me a second, but then she reminded me, and I completely remember her meeting us in Seattle. And I think that beyond the knowledge that we all sort of acquire from attending conferences like this, I really think that the greatest part is making these connections and building these relationships and these friendships with other people in our field. That's what I really love most about these conferences, either our own or going to them. And I know for several people at ESL Library, especially those who have been with our company for many years and who have attended a number of conferences, I know we've all come to meet so many wonderful people in the industry by attending conferences, many of whom we would see again and again, year after year at various shows. And even though these would be people that we see only once a year, these people became our friends. They would be people that we would know by name and people that we would look forward to meeting each year at a particular conference. And we would often even give them hugs when in pre-COVID times when we would meet them at conferences. Some of them were teachers, some of them were administrators, and some of them were the same old neighbors at booths around us from other companies. But I really do love this sense of community in our industry in particular. And now in this COVID and hopefully soon to be post-COVID world, I'm finding that these online conferences are really no different. I've met several people today throughout the conference. I jumped into some of that kind of speed networking events that were going on, and it was such a thrill to meet you in person, one-on-one. And I've had some really great conversations, albeit short, but they were great conversations, and I hope that I get to bump into you again, either at the next ESL Library conference or at another online conference, or better yet, in person one day. This field that we're all in is made up of such great people and such a strong community. And I'm going to touch a little bit about that tomorrow in my opening presentation. So I hope some of you will have a chance to join us again tomorrow morning. In the meantime, I want to again give all our thanks and gratitude to all of the amazing speakers who spoke for us today, and the time that they gave us, and the energy that they gave us, and the knowledge and insight that they gave us at ESL Library, and hopefully all of you as well. That's Russell Stannard, Feli Garcia Lopez, and Meg Malone, and of course the ESL Library staff who presented, Tara Benwell, Tanya Trussler, and Dixon, and the great Tammy Wick. And of course, thank you to Tatiana and all of her team that were working behind the scenes. So many people working behind the scenes to make this event happen that don't really get the recognition, but are doing a ton of work to make this event run really smoothly. So I want to thank everybody who helped contribute today at ESL Library. And I want to thank all of you for joining and for attending, especially sticking around for all of the day on a Friday afternoon or a Friday evening or a Saturday morning, wherever you might be around the world today. We've got another jam-packed day tomorrow, and we really hope that all of you can make it, or make it for as much of the day as possible. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues. Let's make it a party again tomorrow. We've got more amazing speakers joining us. We've got Dr. Katie Welch talking about SEL, social emotional learning in ESL, and Robin Brinks Lockwood joining our panel on elevating teachers' voices and the future of English language education technology. And of course, there'll be presentations from Tammy again, and from Tanya and Tara and Ann again through Coffee Talk. So that's it. There's a couple things that Tammy wants to bring up. We're going to do our draw in a minute. Oh, and I think Tammy was mentioning that somebody this morning, I don't know if this person is still here, was wondering about this art on the wall behind us, or behind me anyways. These are actually drawings from our lesson plans from our discussion starters section. The discussion starters section on ESL Library is my favorite section on the site. I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the presentation this morning, or at the beginning of the day, where we like to bring up all kinds of issues that encourage people to express their own opinion in English, to read something and then either counter that with their own opinion, agree with it, disagree with it. But the main thing is to get them engaged in a conversation and practicing their language. And so these are some of the topics from there. So for example, they asked me to take one off the board or off the wall. This one is our lesson on, oh, it's hard to see, but that's on overfishing. And there's a lesson here on trophy hunting, a lesson on banishing honeybees, a lesson on drones, a lesson on gaming addiction, garbage solutions. There's a lot of really great things that get people talking. And so I like to have those on the board or on the wall because it reminds me of all the great topics that we have at ESL Library. All right, so Tammy's here. I see that she's already come back online. Tammy, can I turn it over to you? I feel like I've
Yeah. Thanks, Ben. We'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Bright and early for me, not so early for Ben. Some of you, it's going to be in the afternoon. We're a worldwide audience here. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, for participating in the social networking. Ben, we had to like drag him away from it. He was like, can I go back and do that? And we had to tell him, no, you can't. So hope you guys had fun. If you couldn't join us today for all of that, we hope you can see us tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
We're good to go. Bye, guys.